for your nearest Perky's location.
Hey, this is the Fat Jack, and it's finally the start of football season and a great time for you to ask yourself, how did last year go? If you were just guessing and you lost money betting on the games, now is the time to go to FatJackSports.com. Before you dig yourself a hole, you can start the season heading into profit. For $50 a week, you can make money betting the games. Go to FatJackSports.com and get consistent winners emailed to you or sent via text that will get you into profit. FatJackSports.com today.
Friday Night Lights flip this switch on Thursday this week. Catholic Memorial takes on Milwaukee Lutheran Thursday night. Gabe Neitzel and Mike Podol get coverage started here on 94.5 ESPN Thursday night at 6:45. Catholic Memorial Football on 94.5 ESPN is brought to you by R&R Insurance, Gerald Nell Inc., Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, Wind Dancer Balloon Promotions, Suburban Asphalt, Perspire Sauna Studio, Home Sealed Exteriors, BC Adhesives, and Lake 5 Landscape Supply. Show podcasts, team-centric feeds, and listening live whenever, wherever. All of that in the palm of your hand. The Wisconsin On Demand app, available in the Apple or Android App Store. You're listening to 94.5 ESPN, WKTI and WKTI-HD Milwaukee, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
For your sports talk fix every day from 4 to 6, it's Scalzo and Brust. For your sports talk fix every day from 4 to 6, it's Scalzo and Brust. For your sports talk fix every day from 4 to 6, it's Scalzo and Brust. For your sports talk fix every day from 4 to 6, it's Scalzo and Brust.
Live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue.
Party,
this is Scalzo and Brust, presented by Bud Light
party,
on 94.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand.
It's a party, baby. Woo! It's a party, baby.
Happy Thursday! Welcome into Scalzo and Brust, presented by Bud Light. No Scalzo, no Brust again today. Alex Strofe, Colin Russo, in for the fellas from the Everlight Solar Studio. Joshy DiMaggio back at the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the 3rd Street Market Hall in Milwaukee. Riley Youk helping us out as well. And Colin, I just got to be honest with you. I've been hanging out with you as we get ready for the show for the past half an hour. You're annoying the hell out of me today.
Why do you say that?
You are off the walls energetic. You are completely underprepared for this radio program we're about to do for the next 2 hours.
Give me a break.
And me and Josh are trying to have a conversation before the show, and you just won't shut up.
I'm contributing to the prep. The prep. I'm contributing. What are you talking about? You're acting like I was dialed in on other things. I was talking about show-related stuff.
You were talking about how much sleep you got last night.
And it was a lot. Let's just put it that way. I slept well. That's why I got the energy. Did you not sleep well?
And then you told me that I go for a stroll. No, I didn't sleep well. I never sleep well.
Well, you got the nice shirt on. I'd figure it was like it's a stroll type of day. It's beautiful weather.
Joshy, Colin and show prep, annoying or not?
I won't go as far as
be careful, Josh.
I won't go as far to say he was annoying. Unhelpful definitely would be the way to describe it.
Yeah.
He's just kept doing a lot of, we'll talk about this and that and we'll be good with absolutely no, it was, we accused Ben Brust of knowing everything an inch deep. That's where you were going. You're an inch deep on everything.
We would play it along. We'll walk as we see the step.
Playing what? What are you talking about?
Listen, I thought I was helping. Maybe I wasn't. It's a note for the future. How's that? I'll give you that.
Pat on the back to you. 800-990-3776 is the ESPN Wisconsin talk and text line. J Love in the 414. 4 p.m. radio off. Can't stand Strope's voice.
That was quick. That was quick.
Wow.
It wasted no time. The intro wasn't even over. I'm done with this guy. I agree.
Well, apologies. I was born this way.
Why did you text in? Now, that's my question. You texted in letting us know you were leaving? Why?
Adios, I guess.
Is the radio still on at that point? I don't know.
What's wrong with my voice?
Well,
I
understand the criticism. I understand the criticism. Let's put it that way.
You sound like you need a slice of cheese pizza out east.
Me?
Yeah, you.
There's nothing wrong with a slice of cheese pizza. You're the one with the annoying voice. Your listeners are turning us off by the dozens.
Well, speaking of energetic and excited, those are two ways everybody would describe the Packers general manager, Brian Gutekunst, who talked to the media yesterday. Talked about the youth movement this team is on. Obviously, pretty much everybody under the age of 30, outside of 3 people now on the team, as Pat O'Donnell, the veteran punter, cut earlier this week on cutdown day. Just 3 players age 30 or over. Brian Gutekunst talks about the youth movement yesterday at Lambeau Field.
For me, the expectation is to go out and try to win every game that we play. You're not going to win them all. I mean, in my lifetime, nobody has, right? So, but at the same time, you got to learn and grow from every situation, whether we win or we lose, the ups and downs. You have to learn and grow from that and continue to get better. The teams that have a chance to win a championship are the teams that are getting better each week and really kind of towards that end of the season and are at their best, So that's what I expect. That's my expectations, and hopefully that will lead us to accomplish the goals that we want to accomplish. But I know that there's been a lot of talk about the youth and all that, but it's like that's no excuse. I mean, these guys were brought in for us to be better than we were last year, and they were all brought here for a reason. So now they got to come together as a team, and they got to do that, and that takes a lot of time and effort. And certainly, guys who have more experience were more used to that, but the expectations don't change.
I feel like we need a professional, like Brian Gutekunst translator, because he never says what he's actually thinking.
What a load of crap, honestly. Like, geez, he was talking about, they were brought here for a reason. We're trying to be better than last year.
Which isn't a high bar, by the way. They're 8-9.
Not a crazy bar. Trying to be better than last year. In what way? What have you done to improve since last year? That's my question. So clearly, he's talking about, the youth's a good thing in a sense that, like, you're preparing for a year or two in the future, but to say that this overabundance of youth, what is the average age again? It's
24?
Yeah, crazy young. And which, you know what? Maybe this is a crazy shooting star season, and that's what the youth is, and maybe they all explode. Maybe none of it works out. My point is, there's no way of putting that. You have an overabundance of youth. You've gotten rid of a lot of veterans. You lost your franchise quarterback, as you should have, and you got a new guy shifting in. To say that, I don't know, he's playing too much. It's too much fluff. There's no substance to saying that. It's a cookie cutter answer. Like I don't understand the idea that this is going to be better. Why? Like, that doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, it's hard to improve when you trade a 4-time NFL MVP, right? Yeah. It just, that's flat out the fact. That's unfortunately the reality of the Green Bay Packers and the reality they enter in 2023. But last year wasn't good, right? At least when you look at the standard of the Green Bay Packers.
And that's with Rodgers.
The standards are winning championships, or at least getting close to winning championships. And at the very minimum, winning the NFC North, which once again in 2023 isn't a very good division. So I understand why Goody maybe thinks and has talked himself into the fact they can improve, because last year wasn't very good. But to stand up at the podium and say the expectation doesn't change and that the expectation is to win every game you play, just flat out cannot be a real expectation for the Packers in 2023. Every move they've made in this offseason is a move for the future. We've talked a ton about that over the course of this offseason. We talked about it yesterday with Jason Wilde and the potential of trying to land Colts running back and former Badger Jonathan Taylor. Every move they're making is for 24 and 25 and 26. But again, it all comes back to, is Jordan Love the guy? Is Jordan Love good enough to help you compete in every game and potentially win every game you're in? Because if he's not that guy, then you're not setting yourself up for 24 or 25, because this is a quarterback-driven league.
Yeah, and as a general manager, that's the only thing he's really looking at. Sure, you want to see positives from your young guys in the secondary and your young guys and the young receivers and the young defensive players. You want to see that, but the end-all, be-all of all of this is Jordan Love. And that's all Goody cares about at the moment. Like, everything else you could kind of pick and place here and there. But if you don't have a quarterback under center, everything changes. So in terms of the expectation, the expectation is to see something good and something, I don't know, that would come about in the future from Jordan Love. If you don't see that, and he can't handle it week to week, and it gets game planned too much, and his head is not in the game, and the whole thing like that, and you're not sold on any of that, then you have a lot more questions than answers for the Packers in 2024.
Now,
yeah, go ahead, please.
No, Matt LaFleur just kind of contradictory off, we're going to try to win every game we're in. Matt LaFleur also speaking with the media yesterday says it's about the process and not the results.
My bad. 1 second.
I think we just take each moment in stride and try to continue to learn and grow no matter what the outcome. And you can't get totally focused on the outcome. You got to be, I'm a process-driven guy anyways, and I think our coaches and players are as well. And so you just take everything in stride and try not to, I never want to put a label on this group or box us in a corner and say what we can and cannot do. I mean, we're going to keep pushing them and push them as far as they can go.
Translation, Packer fans, if we have a couple losses in the loss column in early October, it's because of the youth on the team. Complete 180 from what Goody was trying to say. The expectation doesn't change. LaFleur's like, hold your expectations because this is where we're going. I expect a few losses. That's what he said.
Yeah, it's not shocking that Goody and LaFleur haven't been consistent in both of their messaging, but LaFleur has been consistent in his messaging, and that has been tampering expectations. He did it last year. He's doing it again with all the youth on his team. And look, I think it's maybe an ego thing for Goody, right? Like, he's the one who puts a lot of these pieces and most of these pieces together, and maybe he's like, yeah, I put the perfect squad on paper. It's like me after my fantasy football draft last night, right? I'm going undefeated. I'm going to win every game because I put this team together. I selected Christian Kirk at the wide receiver slot. Shout out to your Jags. And so I don't know if it's ego. I don't know what it is, but it is inconsistent. You would think those two should be more hand in hand than they are.
I also think it's a level of he doesn't want to give anything to the media. He doesn't want to give any sort of meat to the bone with the media. I think LaFleur kind of has a little more of an obligation to because he's going out coaching every week. He has to do the media availability right after games, and he has to do the press conferences. He has to answer, in a way, the more hard-hitting questions during a season. As for Goody, he could kind of slide right over this and kind of avoid everything altogether. He doesn't want to answer any of the tough questions. He doesn't want to address any of the big problems to the media. Again, there's nothing we could do about that, but in the eyes of that, to my eyes, it makes him look soft. It makes it look like not an accountability thing, but you're just unwilling to kind of address what you see and what everybody else sees, and clearly what the head coach sees. That's my take on that.
He's Colin Russo. I'm Alex Strofe. It is Scalzo and Brust, presented by Bud Light. 800-990-3776. Your way into the show. Mike in Milwaukee on the text line says, Goody should have said, compete in every game this year. And I agree with you. That would have been a little bit safer of a thing to say. But again, if they're going to compete in every game, it comes back to exactly what is Jordan Love. How good is Jordan Love? How can Jordan Love get this offense to hum and compete and stay within games? And that's the ultimate question we're waiting to see the answer to.
And you can't put all that pressure on Love if you're the general manager, because the whole idea this offseason has been kind of making it a team thing around Love, not putting on the spotlight on him, making it a 10-man team instead of a one-man team, instead of like what Rodgers does when he takes every spotlight he has. So in a sense, I kind of like the fact that they're kind of tampering the spotlight away from Jordan Love. But to the same point, you're right. That's the question we all want to answer. But in terms of actually addressing this properly, I would like a little bit more of an honest and cohesive answer from Brian Gutekunst about what he wants to see from this team. That's just my take.
I'm just curious, in one sentence, what do you think the expectations for the Packers should be in 2023? 800-990-3776. But everybody else talking about voices now.
What do we got?
So Justin and Racine going at me says Strofe sounds like an endless echo.
Love that.
Chef Ed says, Strophe, I think you have a great radio voice. Thanks, Chef Ed.
There you go.
Hilsey says, Strofe's voice sounds a bit grating, but real family pushes through the pain to still listen.
That's brutal. Oh, my God.
And then Pete McWanago says, Strofe doesn't have the annoying voice. Goody does.
I like that.
Which I tend to agree with.
And
then he calls us Strofe and Luigi. Says you sound like Luigi.
Luigi.
And then John in 414 says it sounds like Strofe's voice is fake, and the other guy is going for his best Mad Dog Russo impression.
Wow.
I wonder how that works out.
That's curious. Interesting.
Colin Russo Alex Strofe with you. Brad Nortman will be working with Ben Brust, who's usually on the show, starting September 11th on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, which you can hear weekdays 2 to 5 on ESPN Milwaukee and ESPN Beaver Dam, and weekdays 2 to 4 on ESPN Madison, again beginning September 11th. He's been in interesting NFL situations. He went to a Super Bowl with the Carolina Panthers when Cam Newton had his MVP season. He went to an AFC Championship game with Colin's favorite team, the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Led in the fourth quarter.
Went to a couple of Rose Bowls with the Wisconsin Badgers. So he's been in rebuild situations, and he's been on some damn good teams. We'll talk to him about this, his new show, and a whole lot more. Brad Nortman joins us next. Colin Russo, Alex Strofe in for the fellas. It's Scalzo and Brust, presented by Bud Light.
You're listening to Bud Light, Scalzo, and Brust.
You know what? I apologize. This Scalzo family's got standards. You could only kill one person.
Yeah.
Second time you're in.
I think that's fair.
I'm leaving.
You wouldn't go to jail for your kid or your wife? You wouldn't take the blame for him?
Hell no.
Subscribe to the Scalzo and Brust podcast free on the Wisconsin On Demand app and wherever you get your podcasts.
Delays continue. Southbound on 894, we've got an accident at Beloit Road blocking the left lane. So that's going to be causing some headaches, stretching all the way back almost to Greenfield already. Southbound on 41, slow from Appleton Avenue all the way down to about Burleigh. Southbound 43, slowing down from Bender Road, pretty much all the way down through the Marquette. Traffic is brought to you by Carroll University's targeted MBA program, the perfect choice for ambitious professionals seeking career advancement. Visit carrollu.edu/MBA to apply for the fall. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, mainly clear with a low of 60 at the lake, 54 inland. Tomorrow, sunny and warm with a high of 85. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Buckle up. It's all systems go at Potawatomi. Plug in to high wattage play and you could win an all-electric BMW i7. Play now through September with your club card. Prize drawings on Thursdays. There's a shocking $800,000 in total prizes on the line, including the luxury BMW i7. It's time to electrify your drive. Only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel. More info at paysbig.com/BMW. Must be 21 years old and a club member to play.
It's Labor Day week here on 94.5 ESPN, sponsored by Perky's Old Fashioned, a ready-to-pour bourbon or brandy mix with the alcohol already in it. Just add the soda of your choosing to their Perky's brandy or bourbon mix and enjoy. Find your nearest Perky's location at perkyspirits.com and get 15% off Perky's merch using the code PERKY15. Happy Labor Day from 94.5 ESPN and Perky's Old Fashioned. Get perked up. Perky's is your local bartender in a bottle.
Blaine's Farm and Fleet's Labor Day sale is going on now, featuring unbeatable deals on fall essentials for your home, work, and vehicles. Like 5-quart jugs of Valvoline full synthetic motor oil, just $22.99 after sale and $10 mail-in rebate. All Blazer trailer lighting is 10% off for rewards members. Plus, when your car's in the shop, get 10% off in-store purchases with $100 or more spent on tire and auto service. See store for details. All Blaine's Farm and Fleet stores are closed on Monday, September 4th for Labor Day.
Sunday Night Baseball hits Houston this week.
The pitch. Good one. Good afternoon. 2-run homer for Tucker, and the Astros lead 2-0.
The rising Astros play host to the falling Yankees.
It's been a disaster this season. And yes, definitely a shock.
Our Sunday Night Baseball coverage gets underway at 5 o'clock right here on Milwaukee's home for Major League Baseball on ESPN Radio, 94.5 ESPN. Let's get the latest from Lambeau. This is your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Z-Bart of Greater Milwaukee. Want that mirror finish on your car? You need Z-Gloss by Z-Bart. Z-Gloss is a 3-layer ceramic coating that not only gives your car that mirror finish, it protects it from everything that Mother Nature can throw at it. Visit zbart.com for more information.
The preseason is now over for the Packers, ending with a 19-15 victory in the preseason finale against the Seahawks. Malafort saying Jordan Love would play, and he did, going 9-15 and a touchdown in the game. As for knowing if Love is ready to step up, LaFleur points to Love's ability to stay calm as a positive presence.
There were some moments that weren't the most fun going through when you're not producing points on offense. That can be frustrating, but I just think that's one of his makeups that makes him very special.
This has been your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN, brought to you by Z-Bart of Greater Milwaukee. You're listening to Scalzo and Brust on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Bud Light and streaming live on Wisconsin On Demand.
A Grateful Dead Thursday on Scalzo and Brust, presented by the official beer of the NFL, Bud Light. I'm Alex Strofe alongside Colin Russo in for the fellas today. Excited to be joined now by a co-host of both Colin and I on ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day, which you can hear for the first time this season Saturday on ESPN Wisconsin, prior to Wisconsin Buffalo. He was a participant in a couple of Rose Bowls. He was a participant in a Super Bowl. He was an NFC champion with the Carolina Panthers.
There's one more.
He played in an AFC championship game
right. He
with
sure
Colin Russo's Jacksonville Jaguars, and now he is joining the ESPN Wisconsin family every single day beginning September 11th on Kyle Brust in Nortman, where you can hear him alongside Ben Brust. It is the great Brad Nortman joining us now on Scalzo and Brust. Bradley, how are you, my friend?
I am doing great. I'm doing much better now. May I say this for the record, Strophy? I think you've got a beautiful voice, and the airwaves are just blessed to be able to hear it as often as they can. So I am doing great now, and excited to talk some sports with you guys. How's the show been with you guys with the Russo-Strofe takeover?
I'm going to be honest with you, Bradley.
You answer first. I got an answer.
It's been rough. This kid, he's acted like he drank like 7 Monster Energy drinks prior to this show, and he's just bouncing off the walls. It's a little hard to handle.
On the flip side of that coin, I think this is going superbly. I thought we had a good show yesterday. I think we're having a good start today. So I'm excited to talk to you, Brad.
Brad, did you hear? It sounds like you've been listening. So you heard what Brian Gutekunst said about they expect to win every game, that being the Green Bay Packers, and Matt LaFleur talking about how it's about the process, not the results necessarily. I'm curious your thoughts, because it seems a little contradictory when your general manager and head coach are kind of saying complete opposite things.
Well, look, it's not uncommon to have your GM and your head coach not necessarily on the same page. I mean, wasn't it Mike McCarthy that didn't know Trey Lance was traded to the Cowboys just last week until basically he was told in front of everybody? So there's always a bit of a difference between what the GM knows and does and what the coach knows and does. But as a player, as someone that roots for this team, it frustrates you, because if there's anybody that should be on the same page, it should be the GM and I think LaFleur is always a bit more of the honest broker-dealer, if you could say it that way, and Goody is just a bit more of like, say a lot of words, but nothing's truly said kind of guy. So, I don't know. I don't really take what Goody says to heart that often. But that's why when Aaron Rodgers, and he's saying we tried to get a hold of him in the offseason, that's why when he says something like that, I listen, because I'm like, oh, this is out of character for Goody. So just interesting to see how, okay, now that it's the season, I'm going to say a whole lot of words, but really tell you nothing.
Yeah, Bradley, you mentioned as a player, it kind of frustrates you. But I want to follow up with that. If you're in the locker room, and I'm not really sure how much you guys are really paying attention to what the GM and the coach are really saying to the media, but when there's a little bit of a contradiction there, when there's sort of one guy is like, we're going to win every game, but the coach is like, let's calm down a little. What side do you really take there? I know you're there working every day with your guys, but is there a sense of we're too young at the moment, we need a year to figure this out? Or is there an everlasting confidence that the team's always going to be very good?
I think there's always confidence that you're going to be good. And honestly, with this youth movement, I feel like these guys don't know what they don't know. I think some of these guys might be feeling that preseason and, they're having some success. The offense is a little bit in rhythm. I think they're going to have a little bit of confidence going into it, regardless of what happened last year, regardless of what the national media says. So, I think you always feel like you're in it. There's always optimism. I was never part of a team where we didn't enter the season thinking, oh, wow, I mean, we could surprise somebody if you didn't have historical success, or this is our year, we're geared up for this, we're ready for it. So, even the year we went 13-3 in Jacksonville. I mean, that's what these coaches are good at. Gus Bradley had us feeling like, wow, we could actually do this. We got the guys in the room. So I think when they hear the GM say that, they're encouraged. I guarantee they're not saying to anybody, like LaFleur isn't saying, hey, guys, we're not going to try to go out there and win. We're not going to try to go out there and have success. I guarantee behind closed doors it's building a culture of winning. But I don't know. I feel like there's oftentimes a sense of hope of winning, even though it might not be the reality.
Brad Nortman with us here on Scalzo and Brust.
And honestly, too, just to add something quickly to it,
Go ahead.
I don't think anyone's really listening to what the GM is saying. I think there's an expectation that
nobody listens to the GM. Okay. Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Brad Nortman with us here on Scalzo and Brust. Alex Strofe, Colin Russo in for the guys. Brad, sources close to the situation informed me that you had lunch with Ben Brust earlier this week, or last week, rather. I'm curious, and I know the Scalzo and Brust family is on the edge of their seats. What was your initial impression of your new co-host, Ben Brust?
Well, how much time you got, Strophy? He's awesome. He's awesome. I have nothing but good things to say about Ben. I mean, what he is willing to do for content, for entertainment, for the ability to make people laugh and smile, I give him a ton of credit for that, and I really enjoy listening to him, and I'm going to really enjoy hosting with him. So, he's had a couple of headline-making moves recently, with Packers training camp and things like that.
For better or worse.
A little bit of energy to the show. Yeah, brings a little bit of energy to the new show. A little bit of sense of urgency to win over our listeners early. But Ben is full of great ideas. He's full of energy, and I think that's what is going to make our show unique. I think that he brings a certain dynamic, as does Kyle and as does I. That all just feels very different, and we kind of approach things from different views. Maybe I might be a bit more analytical, but at the same time have a good time, and then that's going to balance out really well with Brust and Kyle kind of having a good time as well. So to the Scalzo and Brust listeners, it's no surprise what Ben brings to the table. I'm just excited to kind of experience that on a daily basis now, face to face.
So I really thought we were going to slide past the whole training camp move. I'm glad you brought it up because I haven't gotten your thoughts on it, and now I feel like there's no better time than the present. Was that fair or foul by Ben Brust to force Matt LaFleur into signing his Aaron Rodgers Jets jersey?
Thanks for bringing that up. I guess I brought it up, but thanks for continuing to land the plane there.
You did, yeah.
Look, I think he was in totally the right place to do it. I don't think that LaFleur even took offense to it, to be quite honest. I think it's the peripheral. It's kind of like how a lot of disagreements work. I think maybe party A and party B might not have an issue with one another, but a lot of times in our culture, an outside spectator might look at that and say, like, that's wrong, you shouldn't do that. So to me, I would love to know how Coach LaFleur actually feels about it, but to my opinion, it didn't seem like he was that upset or anything like that. So, I got to give Ben a ton of credit for that courage. I can tell you this much: I would not have the courage to do that. So, you know what? Good for Ben. I don't have a problem with it, and it's already in the past. I guarantee LaFleur signed it, thought about it for a minute, and then moved right on. So, that's Ben for you.
That's Ben all over. Brad, to switch wind in the sails, if you will. I don't want to apply any pressure on any scar tissue, but you were cut from the Jacksonville Jaguars in 2018, marking the end of your career. Alex Strofe was just cut from the ESPN, Madison, and Wisconsin airwaves. Any advice? How do you handle this? Do you talk to people? Do you just kind of bottle it up? What did you do, Brad?
What are we doing here?
Give him some advice.
Oh, wow. We're really getting to some deep conversations here, boys. No surprise. The difference between me and Strofe is, though, I never got signed again to punt a football. Strofe will be on the airwaves before.
Well,
not for too long. Sure. So,
we'll see how it goes.
I cannot imagine this forces him to retirement from the radio industry. So I would say, but hey, I kept punting. I kept doing my thing. I would have my wife. You guys have met Lexi. She would underhand me snaps on the practice field at Jacksonville University. So maybe that's what we need to do. Maybe we just need to throw you some underhand snaps, Stroh. So like you got to go out there.
Do I need my girlfriend to hold the microphone for me?
In a field, and you get some reps, and then maybe you'll get signed one day.
Yeah, she's gonna say, "Okay, now Stroh, do a read, go." And you got to train. You got to keep training, Stroh. Might as well employ Taylor.
Okay, hold on. Time out. I don't like how we're angling this like I'm getting fired. I'm not losing my job.
Show's still here. Brad's advice to Stroh to get back on air: get in the field, get your significant other, and get some reps in. That's what's going to happen. Stroh in the field.
That's the key. But hey,
yeses and nos, and doing some segments.
Yeah, it didn't work for you. You never punted again. What kind of advice is this?
That's all I got, though. That's all I know.
Well, while we're bringing up fresh wounds, I guess, Brad, what happened when you got cut? It was a youth movement move, wasn't it? Like the Packers are making. Pat O'Donnell for the Packers got cut because of the youth movement. He got Brad Nortman.
He did, and I feel for him. And Pat is a very polished punter. He's a good punter that can go out there and perform, and he can put your defense in good situations. And you're going with unproven, but very
love punting talk.
Very powerful. I do. Let's go even deeper into the weeds on this one. But I mean, Daniel Whalen clearly has a massive leg and a very cool story. But I mean, man, you're talking about a rookie kicker, a rookie punter, a new long snapper. They're all going to have to try to figure out the field goal operation. Yeah, totally. I mean, I've never been in a position where everybody is new. There's no vets to lean on to be able to help create structure and help be able to just, wrap your arms around the moment. There are things you want to go to your teammates with that you don't want to go to your coaches with. And they're going to look around the specialist room and be like, we're all young and dumb. And they're not going to even know who to go to in those moments where they just need a little bit of honesty and they just need to pour themselves out a little bit. So, I don't know. They're going to go through some growing pains for sure. The talent's there. There's no doubt about that. But I would have thought have an experienced holder and punter like Pat O'Donnell to at least keep things a little steady made more sense to me. But I'm hoping for the best for Whalen.
Yeah, Brad, you're on one side of the window there, but when you have that much youth in the specialists, in terms of field goal opportunities, kickoff, punt, everything like that, does that make the team a little nervous that there's just so much inexperience in a very crucial part of the game in special teams?
Specialist talk.
Well, yeah. I mean, but it's true. But I
feel like it's got it, right?
There are some rookies. Remember the Cincinnati Bengals kicker McPherson? I mean, he came out his rookie year and he made like 6 or 7 50-yard game-winning field goals. There was one in the playoffs.
Jake Elliott for the Eagles, another one. Mm-hmm.
Yep, exactly. So if you go out there and perform and prove you belong, you're not going to have a shaky level of confidence for your guy. But because it could be the same thing with a veteran. You could be a 10-year veteran and missing kicks, and you'll still have that level of fear. It's really just a production-based situation, like anything is in the NFL. So I think if Carlson and Whalen can right the ship, kind of get into rhythm, I don't think they're going to be in a position where they're stressed out. And maybe that's the thing that Goody is looking for. It's the only thing I can put together with this youth movement of saying, look, we're just going to go through our bumps and bruises this year, but we're going to grow together. And there's going to be bonds created together, and we're going to try to peak in future years. But that's where it's hard to say at the mic, look, the intention of this roster is to win every game. And then it's one of the youngest teams over the last decade or plus of the NFL.
Mm-hmm. No doubt about it. Kyle, Brust, and Nortman is the name of the new show. It starts September 11th on ESPN Wisconsin from 2 to 5 p.m. on weekdays. His name is Brad Nortman. You'll hear him tomorrow on Scalzo and Brust. You'll hear him Saturday on ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day, and you'll hear him September 11th on KBN 2 to 5 weekdays on ESPN Milwaukee and ESPN Beaver Dam 2 to 4 on ESPN Madison beginning the 11th. Bradley, thanks so much as always, buddy. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, Brad.
Gentlemen, it's always a pleasure. Thank you.
That's Brad Nortman. KBN launches September 11th. He's Colin Russo. I'm Alex Strofe. It is Scalzo and Brust presented by Bud Light. We'll continue to talk about the youth movement. It's fascinating. It obviously is, right? Jordan Love is the new quarterback, and there are just a ton of young pieces around him at the wide receiver and tight end position specifically. So how will this offense hum? It hummed in the preseason. Josh DiMaggio called Jordan Love good. But will he be good in the regular season? We'll continue to talk that, but we'll play some 1 or 0s coming up next. It's Scalzo and Brust presented by Bud Light.
You're listening to Bud Light, Scalzo, and Brust.
I just picture Ben in his gamer chair, playing video games, yelling to his guys. And meanwhile, there's this poor 80-year-old woman who's got a broken arm, scared to go back out and figure out how to get her trash out.
Hey, old lady, suck it up.
Subscribe to the Scalzo and Brust podcast free on the Wisconsin On Demand app and wherever you get your podcasts.
Delays now on southbound 894. We got an accident at Beloit Road blocking the left lane, backing things up through the zoo. The northbound side has an accident straight through the zoo interchange. The right lane blocked there, right in the zoo. And then on northbound 94, right at Highway KR, the Racine-Kenosha County line, we have an accident there off on the right shoulder. Traffic is brought to you by Mars Cheese Castle in Kenosha. Scan the QR code at the castle for a chance to win 2 tickets for the September 10th Green and Gold game. Visit ESPNWisconsinContest.com for official contest rules. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, mainly clear, a low of 60 at the lakefront, 54 inland. Tomorrow, sunny and warm, a high of 85. Weather's brought to you by the Big Backyard at Maddie's Bar and Grill. Check out the giant outdoor screen for watch parties and enjoy craft cocktails and featured menu items. Maddie'sBar.com for full details. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Loziga on 94.5 ESPN.
The biggest pro football contests in Vegas are back and bigger than ever with $14 million in guaranteed prizes only at Circus Sports. Enter in Nevada, play from anywhere, 2 ways to win and no rake. Play Circa Million, make 5 picks against the spread each week with quarterly and full season payouts, or join Circus Survivor, where you select one team each week straight up. Last the longest to win it all. $14 million in guaranteed prizes. Visit circusports.com for details.
Kessler's works with crazy genius diamond cutters around the globe.
But we keep our crazy genius jewelry designers right here at home, where we can keep them busy.
Monica, I heard we gave our design team a challenge.
Yes, we gathered all 14 of them together and made their eyes sparkle with joy. What did you say? I said we wanted each of them to design a pendant that looks and feels like springtime. Springtime! New life!
14 designers? 14 pendants?
Yes, and we manufactured exactly 8 copies of each of these 14 designer pendants.
There are only 112 of these limited edition pendants in the whole world?
Yep, and they will sell for only $299.
Wow.
One last thing, we're donating all the profits to the charity of the designer's choice.
Being employee-owned gives us the freedom to do fun things.
And then we share those things with you, the people we love.
See the crazy genius designer pendants at KesslersDiamonds.com.
Kevin Moret here from Mentality Men's Health. Guys, did you know that the stored belly fat reduces your free testosterone? The more the belly grows, the harder it is to drop, mostly because of the decrease in free T. It's a vicious cycle that men are losing, and unfortunately, everyone can see it. Mentality breaks that cycle with semaglutide, an industry-changing weight loss medication that can help you lose up to 15% of your body weight while preserving your testosterone. Join our over 20,000 clients to look and feel the way you deserve. In Milwaukee, go to lowtusa.com. That's lowtusa.com.
Keep the good times rolling every Sunday with GKB founder and CEO Craig Karmazin on Sunday Karma.
No rum shaking. Did you say that off the air, Kyle? You gotta say that on the air. It was not rum shaking. It was not anything inappropriate. It just was totally irrelevant.
Sunday Karma with Craig Karmazin.
Because isn't that how GMs get chosen, right? You trade up, in my opinion, cost the team a chance to win a championship.
Sundays from 10 to noon on ESPN Wisconsin.
When severe weather hits and the power goes out, do you have a plan? For reliable power and peace of mind, propane can do that. It only takes about 10 seconds for a propane-powered generator to restore power to your home. So no matter what Mother Nature has in store, you know you're prepared. Learn more at WIPGA.org. This message is sponsored by your local propane provider and the Wisconsin Propane Education and Research Council.
You're listening to Scalzo and Brust on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Bud Light, the official beer of the NFL.
Grateful Dead, Thursday on Scalzo and Brust. Alex Strofe, Colin Russo in for the fellas. Josh DiMaggio, young Riley Yauk running the show across ESPN Wisconsin. Thanks to Brad Nortman, who joined us last segment, gearing up for the launch of Kyle, Brust, and Nortman. Coming up September 11th from 2 to 5 on ESPN Milwaukee and ESPN Beaver Dam, 2 to 4 on ESPN Madison, beginning that Monday, the 11th, the Monday after Packers Bears. So last segment, we got a little bit in the weeds with some specialists.
Nothing wrong with a little specialist talk.
I mean, Joshy, help a guy out here.
I mean, I said this to Strofe. The fact that you had Jake Elliott just ready to go, firing at the hip, Jake Elliott takes is
he hit that 61-yarder against the Giants to win the game. Remember that? No,
I don't.
No, that was his rookie year.
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
what year was his rookie year?
2018, I want to say.
Why do you know that?
2019? I'm not sure. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was a big game. I don't know. Jeez. Whatever. Specialists need attention. You guys haven't been paying attention. You guys turn the TV off when field goal comes on?
Unless it's Durst Carlson knocking home a 57-yarder in the preseason, I probably don't care very much.
Okay. Fine.
Joshy, how do you feel about the nickname Durst?
It kind of sounds like Fred Durst and Limp Bizkit. Well, they had some great tunes. They're past their heyday at this point.
They were part of, what's it called, Firefest? Or was it the second, it was the second, help me out here.
Riot Fest is a fest that happened. I don't know if they were part of one that failed, like Firefest, but are you thinking of Woodstock in the 90s when they
I am. I'm thinking of Woodstock 98, yes.
Oh, yeah, the fake
That's
Woodstock.
Exactly what I'm thinking of.
Yes, when they played break stuff and the whole entire place went up in flames, yeah.
Yeah, it incited a riot, correct. Anyway, what always incites a riot is 1 or 0. It's time to play 1 or 0.
Are you a 1 or a 0?
What was that?
That's the question you have to ask yourself. Are you a yes or a no?
There's no such thing as a gray area. Life is binary. It's just a 1 or a 0. 1 or 0 is presented by Circa Sports. Play the Circa Million and Circa Survivor with $14 million in guaranteed prizes. Only at Circa Sports. Enter in Vegas. Play from anywhere. Visit circasports.com for details.
He's one of 4 Jake Elliott fans in the world. I'm Alex Strofe. We are your contestants for 1 or 0. Joshy DiMaggio is your host. He asked us a question. We say 1 for yes, 0 for no. There is no gray area. Go ahead, Josh.
An Australian woman has caused quite a backlash on TikTok after she documented her family vacation to San Francisco. The reason for the backlash was the mom brought along 18 pieces of luggage for just 4 total people. 1 or 0. The key to travel is packing as few bags as possible.
The answer is 1 here, and I'm incredibly excited to hear Colin Russo's take because he recently told me he owns 5 T-shirts. Go ahead.
I'm a 1. As little as possible. You can figure out shirts. It's not a big deal. You don't need 20 shirts. You need 1 pair of pants. You need 1 pair of shorts. You need 5 or 6 pairs of socks, a couple pairs of underwear, 2 shirts. You're good. That's all you need. Am I wrong on that?
How often do you do laundry?
I go once a week, probably.
I got a feeling
if you have less than 7 shirts
in the Russo house.
Yeah, no doubt.
No. I'm on the. I am on the team of like, if the shirt's not dirty, you can wear it. But like, what is a dirty shirt? There's a definition to a dirty shirt.
Do you rewear your shirts, Josh?
No, I rewear my the shirt I wear under shirts typically. But
that's it. Yeah, it's.
Oh, that's even worse. That's the sweaty one.
Yeah, why wouldn't you? If you're wearing like an overshirt, like a flannel or something, that's totally reusable.
Which is what Joshy's wearing right now. You're wearing a flannel. That's reusable.
That's totally reusable.
Here. The undershirt's the one that gets sweaty.
Joshy, come on, you can get like a couple pack from Hanes at Walmart. You're good to go.
Yeah, it's just I wear jeans and shorts. I can wear a pair of jeans for 2 weeks straight without washing.
Why are we jumping into the jeans?
I agree with.
Why are we jumping into the jeans?
But this is like you. But yeah, this is like you saying, Josh. I rewear my boxers, but not my pants.
No, boxers are way
different.
Yeah,
totally.
They're way.
No, it's
way
not.
Different orifices down there.
Orifices? Are you okay? Never mind.
Josh. Whatever. Move on.
Thesaurus. No, he's referring to us anyway. All right, Joshy.
1 or 0. You'd be okay with your significant other having 18 pieces of luggage.
That would be my ex-significant other. 0.
Yeah. Are you kidding me? The amount of money in checking those bags.
I
mean, do you try to carry? I mean,
Like, how do you get?
Go ahead,
to
Josh.
How do you get to your gate with 18 things with 18 pieces?
You got to check
16
everything.
of them, right?
You're taking up the whole plane. People are gonna get they're gonna get shipped off. Sorry, we're too heavy. No, we're not. We'll stay here. Catch the next one.
Family of 4, 18 pieces of luggage.
How do you get a rental car? If you're getting a rental car, if you're driving, or what, are you getting Uber?
Yeah, how do you transport that to the
hotel? Do you need your own Uber?
How long are you there?
Do you need your own Uber for the bags?
I bet if I moved my entire apartment to San Francisco, I wouldn't need 18 bags.
Oh, way less. Are you kidding me?
That is...
But so, how do you transport that after the airport? That's the real question.
Not only is that absurd, it's irresponsible. What's next?
In a recent meeting with New York media, Jets GM Joe Douglas said that there are, quote, 5 to 6 times a day where he sits in his office in disbelief the Jets have Aaron Rodgers and that Aaron Rodgers has shown no signs of slowing down. 1-0, the Jets' amazement with Aaron Rodgers will prove to be detrimental to the team.
I'm a 0 here, but will it play a role? I would say a 1. It would not be the main reason, though. Their offensive line is obviously bad.
It's not as bad as people make it out to be, but...
That's not as good as Green Bay's. I'll tell you that much.
But if anybody can mitigate a bad, an okay or average offensive line, it's Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, that's fair. But yeah, I mean, the propaganda and the gassing him up and the kissing his ass.
I think that's the worst.
It is well documented on Hard Knocks, and that's why I can't watch it anymore. I made it through an episode of a half, and it's just like how unprofessional is this, Joshie? Right? Like, you are the boss. You run this franchise. You put the pieces together, and you're sitting there and daydreaming 6 times a day about your quarterback. That's honestly not even is it irresponsible or sad. It's just weird.
Weird. I don't like that at all.
It's interesting. I think it's interesting from the standpoint, like, obviously Goody didn't do nearly enough to keep a star franchise quarterback around. But what Aaron Rodgers truly wants is to run the team top to bottom and have everybody constantly telling him how great he is. That's when Aaron Rodgers... And believe me, there's not a lot of teams that are going to go quite to the extent the Jets have done for Aaron Rodgers this offseason.
I think it's absolutely crazy, the fact that, like, he's not going anywhere else. I don't understand this sort of, like, overabundance of people-pleasing, trying to keep Rodgers happy. What if they start the year 2-4? Then what? Then are we still daydreaming about Rodgers in the locker room, or are we going to ask him some hard-hitting questions? Being in New York, he's going to be asked those questions, and so is Joe Douglas and the coach. Do you throw him under the bus? Do you say everybody else has to be ready? That's where the real problem is. I think it is going to prove a little detrimental because they got a hard schedule, they got a tough division, and it's an impossible conference. So just because of all of those, too many things have to go perfect for them to really be a top-tier threat in the AFC, in my opinion.
You're absolutely correct. Josh, we got one more?
Yeah, an unnamed 26-year-old man took to Reddit to voice his displeasure with the fact his girlfriend was unhappy that the man and his mother still share a bed when she comes to visit or they go on vacation together. 1 or 0. It's weird to sleep in bed with your mom at 26.
You didn't actually just ask this question, right?
Josh, what do you look up in Reddit to find this?
Yeah, how did you locate this?
This is, I used some great aggregation sites here. I believe this one was featured on the New York Post, where they seem to troll Reddit for popular posts. And this guy was upset and took to Reddit to, I believe it was the Am I a Bleep Hole one, where they say, like, am I the bleep hole for getting mad at my girlfriend for her saying it's weird that I sleep in bed with my mother at 26?
It is obviously weird. I am a 1 here. Now, I will tell you a story.
What?
It has nothing to do with me. It has nothing to do with me outside of there may be some relation near me.
Let's just get to it.
Semi-near me. Where there is, I believe the kid is now 15 and still sleeps with his parents when they like go on vacation and like at home and sits on his parents' lap when they go out to restaurants, and he's like a sophomore in high school.
This is somebody you know?
This is somebody I know, yes.
And you've never pulled them aside and, like, some little soul searching?
I don't know him like that.
Oh, okay.
Right? It's like a distant.
Have you been to a restaurant? You've seen this live?
I have seen this live in action. Yeah.
So if they're
made
seated
me very
4
uncomfortable.
people, 5 are going to the restaurant, including him. they'll get 4 chairs and he'll sit on one of his parents' laps, or there will be an empty chair at the table and he'll just prefers this.
He prefers the lap. Yeah, it's just weird to me. It's only child energy, right? Like if there's one person that probably did this, it's Jesse Nelson.
I was gonna say, this
right?
Jesse Nelson all over it.
1 or 0, Jesse Nelson slept in the same bed as his parents until he was in middle school.
Well, this kid's in high school.
Well, this guy's 10 years graduated, the one that started this conversation. Nonetheless, all right. I just got a text on the private talk and text line. Yes, I was hoping you would tell this story. Told this one before, apparently.
Wow.
So there you go.
I don't know. That's a little weird. It's not my cup of tea. Only child energy. It's something past that, in my opinion. How much of a mama's boy or
You're just too coddled. You gotta grow up sometimes.
Throw him in the water like a cheese. Unbelievable.
Throw him in the water.
Yeah.
Let him swim.
Figure it out.
So we've had a lot of weird conversations in today's 1 or 0. Weird 1 or 0 today, Joshy. Like in a good way. I mean that as a compliment. Hilsey texted a weird question though, as you revealed that you do not you rewear your undershirt.
Let's keep the weird going. Yeah.
Hilsey texts in: is Joshy a moist individual?
No. Extremely dry. Hate being moist. I hate that word too.
That's not the question. You hate being moist.
I will reveal this about myself. I have been diagnosed with hyperhidrosis of the underarms, which means my armpits sweat a ton.
You went to go get this checked out?
Yes,
just because I was sweating your underarms.
Like I don't know if you can see it right now because I'm wearing 2 shirts, but like my armpits are just always disgusting. Yeah.
So you're like, I need a doctor to.
I need a doctor to check this out, see if they can hook me up with some secret deodorant or something. Yeah. So, like, I'm curious. So when Josh says he rewears his undershirts, I'm thinking to myself, there's no way I could ever do that.
So you don't ever sweat. You don't ever sweat in your undershirt.
No, it's not never. If I do, I change it. Like if there's a hefty sweat that because sometimes it's just so hot you can't help it. But for a day I go to work and I wear it for a few hours, put deodorant on, no sweat, pop that sucker right back on.
Ever 3 days in a row?
Oh, of course.
Oh my God, Josh!
Joshy!
4? Don't tell me 4.
Probably not. I switch it out because it.
No, he doesn't.
No,
he's lying to us.
You've definitely done 5 just to prove you can.
Who am I proving it to myself?
You totally have, Josh.
The only thing that happens is it gets deodorant stains on it. That's the one thing where it's like this needs to be altered.
The deodorant stains are the reason you changed the shirt. Yeah. Nothing else?
No.
What do you wear to bed, Josh?
A completely different piece of clothing.
Do you have pajama clothing?
No, I just wear like t-shirts and shorts.
Yeah.
So you don't have like a set of button-up jammies you're wearing to bed?
No, I'm not 12.
This is Christmas morning.
Are you wearing jammies?
No. I think I've told you this before, Josh, but it's your fault we went here. I wear nothing to bed.
Josh, let's get away from that. Josh, I'm shocked. You definitely went 4 days in a row.
I'm done
same
with this
undershirt. That's a lot of days. That's 3. That's 3 too many.
I'm done. Yeah, Colin, I've seen you wear the same T-shirt 3 times in a week, and it says "Adios Amigos, David Robinson, 1988 to 2003." Even though the Admiral's not dead.
It's a strange shirt.
It is. All right. Anyway, he's Colin Russo. I'm Alex Strofe. I have no idea what the hell's going on here. It's Scalzo and Brust presented by Bud Light. We'll hopefully talk about something else next.
You're listening to Bud Light, Scalzo, and Brust.
This can't be common. I heard a crazy story from a buddy I met. And he talked about he got a vasectomy and then his wife got pregnant. That's got to be awkward, huh?
I guess.
Right? Like, you get a vasectomy, you think it can't happen.
Yeah, that's been known to happen.
Jeez. How did you get that thing to 100? I guess chop them off.
Subscribe to the Scalzo and Brust podcast free on the Wisconsin On Demand app and wherever you get your podcasts.
When the game goes into overtime. But the game goes into overtime. The choice to enjoy is easy. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Pick up Bud Light at your local convenience store today. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
The Bog in Saukville is Ozaukee County's best golf experience. 18 championship holes designed by the legendary golfer Arnold Palmer, settled amongst 250 acres of beautiful private land. The Bog caters to golfers of all skill levels, offering a golf experience unlike any other. Come enjoy the finest golf greens in Wisconsin, and after your round, enjoy a bite to eat in our restaurant or out on our new patio bar overlooking the 18th green. It's time to golf, Wisconsin. It's time to enjoy the Bog.
An ESPN Radio Extra Point with Ian Fitzsimmons.
Jonathan Taylor, Colts All-Pro running back, is starting the season on the PUP list. A lot of people are impacted. Not just Jonathan Taylor for not getting that long-term deal that he's looking for, but also Anthony Richardson. What's a quarterback's best friend besides his offensive line? A running game. And Anthony Richardson, as a rookie quarterback out of Florida who's only started in 13 games, doesn't have one of the best in the business behind him with the Indianapolis Colts this year.
And Ian, I'll give you another one. You're putting both your first-year head coach and your first-year QB in such a predicament. You're putting them in a conundrum because your most offensively skilled weapon is not available because you want to play games with it.
And this is going to bleed into that entire locker room. We start in 1 week, and this feeling, right, is just bleeding through your entire room.
Some days I cover up because of my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. Now I'm hitting the road with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi, Rizumkizum of Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, 3 out of 4 people achieved 90% clearer skin at 4 months. And Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZI to learn more.
Friday Night Lights flip this switch on Thursday this week. Catholic Memorial takes on Milwaukee Lutheran Thursday night. Gabe Neitzel and Mike Podol get coverage started here on 94.5 ESPN Thursday night at 6:45. Catholic Memorial Football on 94.5 ESPN is brought to you by R&R Insurance, Gerald Nell Inc., Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, Wind Dancer Balloon Promotions, Suburban Asphalt, Perspire Sauna Studio, Home Sealed Exteriors, BC Adhesives, and Lake 5 Landscape Supply.
Juniper Pools is kicking off football season in a big way this year. Purchase a spa between July 29th and August 31st, and you win when our team wins. If the green and gold win the big game, you'll receive your hot tub purchase for free. If they win the division, you get $1,000 back, and if they make the wild card playoff game, you score a $250 in-store gift card. For complete promotional terms and conditions, visit poolpeople.com. Get ready to relax and back the green and gold this season with Juniper Pools on West Wisconsin Avenue by Costco in Appleton.
Unfiltered, shameless, and analytical. ESPN Milwaukee's next afternoon show is Kyle, Brust, and Northman. Weekdays from 2 to 5. And it debuts on Monday, September 11th at 2 o'clock, right here on 94.5 ESPN.
Dead Thursday on Scalzo and Brust, presented by Bud Light. Alex Grove, Colin Russo in for the guys. Colin Russo spent that entire commercial break listing the 6 T-shirts he owns and how much money he spent on it. I think we're at a combined $1.25.
No, a little more than that. Not terrible. One was at the bins. It was essentially free. Another one I got in Egypt. It was 75 cents American, which is like $10 Egyptian pound.
How do you have so few shirts that you can name their origins? Like, what's going on there?
I don't know. I'm weird about that.
You're both strange. Josh, he rewears his undershirt 4 days in a row, and Colin only owns 4 shirts. Which one's weirder?
I do my
Can we
laundry.
pull that, Chachi? Can we please pull that?
No, veto.
It's not that weird. It's not 4. It's like 6.
Why is it vetoed? Is it because it involves you?
Yeah, correct. I run the show here.
It's like 6 shirts. Let's be honest.
What?
Josh.
Why is the lack of shirts such a point of pride for you? I'm not gathering what's
It's a point of
on.
honesty, Josh. He knows about it. He loves bringing it up. I have no problem with how
many.
many.
Do the people in your life not say like, "Hey, man, we're going to get you a shirt for your birthday, for Christmas," or do you have shirts you get given and they don't make the rotation?
They don't make the rotation. I'll get rid of them. I don't need them.
What do you do with them?
I can donate them or just give them to somebody. Or,
No, I'm not asking hypothetically. I'm asking when it happens, what do you do with the shirt?
Like, let's say I got a random shirt. Chances are I might just throw it in a bin or throw it away. I don't need it. I like everybody has a style with their shirts. I like my shirts.
You're wearing a completely basic blue T-shirt right now.
With an Egypt logo on it.
It's a dancing pyramid or a dunking pyramid.
75 cents.
You are a strange, strange man. He's Colin Russo. I'm Alex Strofe. Josh DiMaggio running the show. I am befuddled. Usually I'm the idiot on the show when I fill in.
Idiot? I'm being honest.
And two of you just have disgusting hygiene.
Disgusting hygiene. I just said I do my laundry properly. It's Josh who I'm a little confused about.
Yeah, I guess I'm just not wet like you guys are all the time.
Come on,
wet. 800-990-3776 is the ESPN Wisconsin Talking text line. Your way into Scalzo and Brust. 800-990-ESPN. Ron in the key chimes in on the text line. Welcome to Scalzo and Brust. If they had just gone with the reboot, another dim kid that caused his parents' divorce and a coastal kid alongside him. Seen it already.
Part 2. Different tone.
I would like to set the record straight. I did not cause my parents' divorce.
Why is that a thing?
Because Ron in the key is just a bully. What's that noise, Josh? What's that supposed to be?
We can't confirm that. There's some things. You've said some things in the past that made me question your version of events.
Concerning... like discrepancies in the story?
I'm just making it up.
Are there holes? Oh, okay. I was curious about the holes in the story.
You're just supposed to go along with me there.
I didn't realize there. I haven't heard this. I don't know. I was just asking why. I'm curious.
The Secret Service almost hit me, Josh. We didn't even talk about that today. The Secret Service in town because the First Lady's in Madison today. I almost got run over by an all-black vehicle.
Is she really?
Yeah.
What is she doing? A talk or something?
She's coming to our studio. She's going to talk with us.
She's coming in last segment. First Lady of the United States.
Too many questions. The Secret Service is going to show up.
Honestly, I wouldn't rule it out. I
Like the American flags on the front of the hood.
All right, we'll continue to talk youth movement of the Green Bay Packers. Coming up next, Ryan Leaf, of all people, chiming in on Jordan Love. We'll listen to that and respond to it next. It's Scalzo and Brust, presented by Bud Light.
A few accidents still being worked on the roadways northbound on 894 heading straight through the Zoo interchange. The right lane is blocked with an accident there. We've also got an accident on 41 southbound at Hampton Avenue off on the right shoulder. One more on 94 northbound at Highway KR, the Racine-Kenosha County line on the right shoulder there. And then, of course, we've just got the delays on southbound 43, 36 minutes to get from Brown Deer Road to downtown. Delays are solid from Silver Spring all the way down through the Marquette. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, mainly clear, a low of 60 at the lakefront, 54 inland. Tomorrow, sunny and warm, a high of 85. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Woo! I am thirsty today. Definitely going to need a cold one. There's the one. Grabbing one of the go-to beers heading into this fall, and that's Potosi Brewing Company. My guy Wonder from Potosi is back again, and he's got the inside scoop on what sets Potosi apart from all the rest. And that includes giving back with a unique room for patrons to visit at the brewery.
And what's great about Potosi is all profits go to charity. So you're helping your community when you purchase Potosi. Also, what's nice about Potosi is it's also the home of the National Beer Museum. So located in little small town, they were able to get the National Beer Museum.
Thanks again to Wonder for joining us and telling all about the wonderful things Potosi has to offer. And remember, folks, no matter the season, you have to make sure the fridge is always stocked.
Hey, this is Tony Smith. You're listening to 94.5 ESPN, WKTI, and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
For your sports talk fix every day from 4 to 6, it's Scalzo and Brust. For your sports talk fix every day from 4 to 6, it's Scalzo and Brust. For your sports talk fix every day from 4 to 6, it's Scalzo and Brust. For your sports talk fix every day from 4 to 6, it's Scalzo and Brust.
Live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue.
Party,
this is Scalzo and Brust, presented by Bud Light
party,
on 94.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand.
It's a party, baby. Woo! It's a party, baby.
Scalzo and Brust on a Thursday, rolling on live on ESPN Wisconsin. I'm Alex Strofe alongside Colin Russo, Josh DiMaggio holding it down for us back at the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the 3rd Street Market Hall in Milwaukee. Riley Yauk helping us out as well here at the Everlight Solar Studio downtown, beautiful Madison, Wisconsin. 800-990-3776, the ESPN Wisconsin talk and text line. You know, there's what, a week and a day left of this program of Scalzo and Brust, and it took us this long to reveal that Ben Brust is not the only disgusting human being that's worked on the show for the last several years. Josh DiMaggio re-wears his undershirts for 4 days at a time.
Josh, I'll give you two. I'll give you two.
This 4-day narrative has started based solely on Colin Russo.
You didn't deny it. You didn't deny it, Josh. Come on, let's be honest.
It's because
you just got to admit it.
It's like we talked about yesterday. When you get accused of something, it doesn't behoove you to say, no, I don't, because then no one believes you. If you say, I sleep with a baby blanket, I look worse denying it.
I don't not agree. I don't agree with the example that you provided, but we're just talking about undershirts.
Yeah, you're throwing out wild accusations.
It's not that complicated.
You said you did it 3 days in a row. That's wild.
Why is 4 so wild? So, like, yeah, that's the level, 3, and that's the hard deadline?
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday is lunchy day. When it starts to get crunchy? Did you say crunchy?
Josh.
Did you say crunchy?
You did, Josh. Why? Crunchy how?
We're doing a thing here.
How do you not realize that is a problem?
He is backtracking. Josh, why is there crunchy?
We need to have a full-blown intervention for Josh DiMaggio and his hygiene habits.
Josh, I know I'm going to get you for a birthday or a holiday. I'm going to buy you a gift, and I take a guess of what it is. That's all you need to know.
Six-pack of Hanes.
Mr. 6 T-shirts over there. Buzz down.
You two are both unbelievable. Unbelievable. 800-990-3776. We go to the great town of Germantown. Josh in Germantown here on Scalzo and Brust. Is it weird Josh, he wears an undershirt 4 days in a row, Josh?
Well, maybe not 4 days. I do mine 3. I wear the A shirts, and I go to work, and I put them on, and, like you said, you wear them, and then you get out the shower, put them back on, and I just wear shorts and a T-shirt to bed.
So you wear the undershirt to bed?
Yeah.
You wear the shirt to bed. Okay. And that it doesn't, smell, you don't sweat at night, it doesn't,
Yes, absolutely, 1,000,000%.
You cut it at 3, at least you got, a principle to it, but I think overnight there's a little added.
Do you not sweat at night, Josh?
I don't sleep with any covers. I just lay in bed, get my pillows on, and I just go.
Okay, there are further issues here, clearly, with Josh in Germantown.
You get your pillows on, you got no covers, and you wear the same shirt coming out of the shower.
72 hours straight.
Wait,
what? At least Josh DiMaggio gets it a break.
What's going on here where you guys are sweating in your sleep?
That's never happened to you? I'm not going to say it always happens, but it's never happened to you?
I don't sweat in my sleep.
What temperature do you keep your apartment at? What temperature do you keep your apartment at?
Well, we have window units right now, but it's usually high 60s.
Yeah, that's about where mine is. 67's usually my number.
Yeah, I don't sweat in bed.
Well, it's not like I'm waking up and my sheets are imprinted. I'm just saying I sweat a little bit. It's natural. I drool sometimes too, Josh. Is that weird to you?
I'm not sweating. I'm not getting out of bed thinking I got a good sweating last night. That's crazy.
Nobody,
that's not
Josh.
what I'm implying.
It's not a sauna, Josh. We're talking.
That's what it sounds like.
A drop of sweat here and there. It happens. Sometimes you overheat. Sometimes there's too much cover. Sometimes there's too little.
Yeah, that's a you guys problem. I don't think most people are going to bed sweating.
All right, Joshy, since you won't pull it about yourself, pull this. Do you sweat in your sleep? 1 or 0? Can you pull that?
I'd say it's a 90-10, yes.
All right, we're pulling that on Twitter at Scalzo and Brust, at ESPN Milwaukee, at ESPN Madison, at ESPN BD is where you can find that poll on Twitter. Joshua will get that up momentarily. The guy who wears the same undershirt 4 days in a row. We found out Josh in Germantown wears the same undershirt 72 hours straight
and
without a break.
He went to work with it, and he gets out of the shower clean, and he just puts the same shirt on. On day 3, that's got to be brutal, I feel like.
You think he's like when I was in middle school?
If I did that and the shirt felt dirty, I would what's the point of the shower, right?
So when I was in middle school, the big thing was like Axe showers. So, Axe body spray. It smells horrible. And the middle school locker room would just smell of BO and Axe.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I picture Josh in Germantown, no offense, doing. Right? By day 3, that shirt's got to stink. I mean, there's no way 72 hours without a break other than taking a shower.
Yeah. I see Josh Josh DiMaggio. That is, I level with you because you take it off and at least you sleep in something different. Josh in Germantown, overnight. Is there what's with the shirt? You have your couple of Hanes shirts. You said it was. Why is there such a connection to the shirt? I don't understand. And I didn't understand the no covers. I sometimes too hot, but that means he's got to be the perfect temperature going to bed. He's not too cold. He's not too hot. That's nuts to me. No, I feel like it's a little odd. Maybe I'm the only guy in America that happens to. The temperature fluctuates.
No, I mean I'm with you. I sweat occasionally. It happens.
Josh never sweat a day in his life, so hence we got the 4 days in a row with an undershirt.
All right, I'm curious. Young Riley Yauk is holding things down for us in Madison. I need to hear from young Riley Yauk. Riley, you're 21 years old, I believe, and I 22. Excuse me. How many days are you allowed to wear an undershirt in a row in your book?
Let's see. 2? I'd say 2. I've done it before. I've worn an undershirt 2 days in a row, but that's if I'm feeling real clean and, got some nice deodorant on, then I can make it work too.
Oh.
But that's
deodorant. Nice deodorant. What's that mean? Old Spice? You're 22 years old. Of course. That doesn't shock me at all. Oh, my goodness. I work with a bunch of disgusting human beings.
You're the one with the genetic arm sweating disease. What are you yelling at us for?
Well, that's fine, but I don't rewear my undershirts.
I didn't say I did. I say I
you
have my
own
shirts.
6 T-shirts! 6!
Doesn't mean
7 days of the week!
I never admitted once. There's a level of a shirt being dirty. Sometimes it's okay for day 2.
Oh, my goodness.
Anything more than that. Absolutely unacceptable. Unacceptable, Josh. But my point is, I get 6 shirts. Yeah, I do my laundry. It's fine. It's good. They're always clean.
Teddy from Watertown coming to Josh DiMaggio's defense says the fact that you haven't known by now proves it's not a problem.
That's a great point. You've been around me plenty. You don't smell.
I have?
You don't smell it.
Oh, well, hold on, Joshy. I'm not physically around you. I work with you a lot, but I'm not physically around you a lot.
We were around each other every day for months.
And what was the distance like?
Every day for months. It was in the middle of COVID. We had at least 6 feet between us.
At least 6 feet, Josh. Your argument's not coming together for you.
I don't think that. The fact there's something going on here where I don't know if your guys' bodies are still transitioning into adulthood at this point, where the amount of grime, sweat, and things coming off of your body at this point are just crazy to me. You guys are sweating in your sleep. You're sweating through every shirt you guys own. I just don't understand what's
transitioning. Josh, yeah. I don't think that has anything to do with it. I think I hit puberty 14 years ago, Josh.
You're still hanging on to it. I think your body is still... You hit too early, so now these are the residual effects late in life.
I agree. Stroh's sweating syndrome is a little odd. But other than
that... You own 6 T-shirts. Josh wears his undershirts for 4 days in a row, and me having sweaty armpits is odd?
Hey,
how am I the one getting attacked here?
The sweating syndrome's a little odd.
You have a
little weird.
Anomaly.
Well, that's not my fault. It's not an anomaly if it has a name.
I love that. It's an anomaly. It's a sweating anomaly. You're an
two
oversweater.
Idiots are the anomaly. Dave from Delafield just chimes in with one word. Disgusting. I don't know what
I
that's
hope he's talking about
to.
Stroh and Josh DiMaggio.
Right now, we need caller 6, caller 9, 800-990-3776, 800-990-3776. We're going to play over, under, par coming up next. Josh has a topic. He will set an over-under line, a list of 10. Me and Colin get 10 guesses in 3 minutes, and if we hit the over, you win. If you hit the under, the other person wins, depending on which side you pick. 800-990-3776, 800-990-3776. Need caller 6, caller 9 to play over-under. Coming up next, it's Scalzo and Brust, presented by Bud Light.
You're listening to Bud Light, Scalzo, and Brust.
Ben, you are talking smack to the women in the office about beating them left-handed and how you could torch them in pickleball. I'm a douche! I know I'm a douche!
Subscribe to the Scalzo and Brust podcast free on the Wisconsin On Demand app and wherever you get your podcasts.
Delays are still sticking around. Southbound 43 slow from Silver Spring. Solid pretty much all the way down to the Marquette and over the high-rise bridge. The northbound side's heavy out of the Marquette up past Keefe. Westbound 94 slowing down from 27th Street through the Stadium interchange to Mitchell Boulevard. On the eastbound side, 84th Street all the way through the Stadium. Also going to be a slow ride. And then on northbound 41 from the Zoo all the way up to Swan Boulevard, pretty much a parking lot. Traffic is brought to you by Great Lakes Dragaway, a quarter-mile-long drag strip plus a drift pad. Even drive your own car on the track. Find full event schedule and ticket information at GreatLakesDragaway.com. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, mainly clear with a low of 60 at the lakefront, 54 inland. Tomorrow, sunny and warm with a high of 85. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazagon, 94.5 ESPN.
From the tee box to the green and everything golf-related in between.
Same thing with Xander and Cantlay. Like those four, because you know you're just going to pair them together. Like those four are safe on this Ryder Cup team. They're safe in 2 years on that Ryder Cup team.
On the tee with Gabe Neitzel and Stephen Watson.
Like JT and Spieth are still your horses. Like they are still your first team out.
On the tee with Gabe and Stephen, presented by Wisconsin Golf Trips. Mondays at 6 on 94.5 ESPN.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
I'm coming!
Hi, Mark Tauscher. Tausch, you have mosquitoes in here.
It's like an insect zoo right now at my house. Here comes that wasp again. Incoming!
Shoo, you need Pella's 250 series of windows with exclusive hidden screens, protecting you from nature.
Yes, please. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin to the rescue.
Get a 250 series patio door and 8 double-hung windows with hidden screens as low as $188 per month. PellaWI.com. Certain restrictions apply. See showroom for details. Offer ends 8/31/23.
Hey, this is the Fat Jack, and it's finally the start of football season and a great time for you to ask yourself, how did last year go? If you were just guessing and you lost money betting on the games, now is the time to go to FatJackSports.com. Before you dig yourself a hole, you can start the season heading into profit. For $50 a week, you can make money betting the games. Go to FatJackSports.com and get consistent winners emailed to you or sent via text that will get you into profit. FatJackSports.com today.
Steinhaffel's Labor Day sale is bigger than ever with huge savings throughout the store and hundreds of incredible bonus buys. Start with $100 off your purchase of $19.99 or more. Plus, get a stainless steel 115-can beverage cooler free when you spend $39.99 or more. And take 15% off all clearance furniture and mattresses. Make it even easier when you use Steinhaffel's 72-month financing. It's Steinhaffel's Labor Day sale. Shop in store or online at steinhaffels.com.
With a local Milwaukee team, Fifth Third Bank knows what success looks like. They've been serving businesses and individuals in the area for nearly 15 years, including a long-standing commitment to the healthcare industry. From expansion to technology to reducing the risk of fraud, Fifth Third offers a full suite of financial services and solutions across the healthcare spectrum to meet the complex moments you're navigating. Fifth Third Bank, National Association, custom solutions built around your goals, member FDIC.
You're listening to Scalzo and Brust on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Bud Light and streaming live on Wisconsin On Demand.
Yeah, it's Scalzo and Brust on a Grateful Dead Thursday. Alex Strofe, Colin Russo with you. Josh DiMaggio running the show. We were giving Josh a hard time for wearing his undershirts 4 days in a row.
Number 4.
Tosa Chris chimes in on the text line, 800-990-3776, says, it was all good until Joshy started talking about them getting crusty.
Crusty is abhorrent. Terrible.
It's really bad.
It's all right, Josh. It's fine.
All right. This is my favorite segment Scalzo and Brust does. And it is called Over Under with a $50 gift card to Mars Cheese Castle on the line. Let's get into some Over Under.
Will the guys hit the over, or will they disappoint like they usually do? It's time for Over Under on Scalzo and Brust.
Paul in Janesville on the over. Marita in Milwaukee does not believe in us on the under. Real quick before we get to what the topic in the line is from Joshy, Jake from the East Side's been texting in today. 1 hour ago said, Strofe, I mess with you. I don't know about this other rookie, though. And then 1 hour later, not going to lie, you guys all sound like you're musty.
Musty?
Yeah, musty, apparently.
As in, like our stench?
Correct, yeah. So that's a hit to the ego right before I'm trying to win a game. All right, what is the topic today, Joshie, and what is the line?
Today we are looking for the last 10 running backs to lead the Big Ten in rushing. The over-under is 6.5, and if they did it more than once, they only count as one entry.
The line is what again? I'm sorry?
6.5.
6.5. And this is rushing yards?
Rushing yards in a single season. So,
and this is player-based, not year by year?
Yes, it's just the player. So if they did it 2 times in their college career, they only count as one.
And that's one.
Alrighty.
Okay, I'm ready.
Starting the clock in 3, 2, 1.
All right, so let's start with Badgers. I'm confident Jonathan Taylor did it.
Absolutely. Final
answer.
Jonathan Taylor did it 3 times in 19, 18, and 17.
Wow, I didn't know he did it 3 times. That's impressive. Who else has been a finalist for the Heisman in the last 10 years? Melvin was more than 10 years ago, I think.
The last 10 running backs, not the last 10 years.
That's true, and JT did it 3 times. So Melvin Gordon, final answer.
Melvin Gordon did it in 2014.
Can I ask if he's low on the list?
He is 7th on the list.
Monte, then? Monte's got to be here, I would think. Monte Ball, final answer.
Monte Ball is 9th on the list in 2012 and 2011.
Number 9. Okay, so let's go back up.
Yeah, let's work our way back up.
I was thinking about last year.
Was it Blake Corum from Michigan?
I would say Blake Corum, yeah.
Are you confident in that?
Yes.
Is there anybody else that pops out?
Mohamed Ibrahim.
Yeah, Ibrahim from Minnesota was my other guess, but he was hurt last year, wasn't he?
Corum.
Blake Corum, final answer.
Ibrahim might be the year before. Damn. Was it Travion Henderson, maybe? I don't want to say it, though.
I'm just trying to think about other great backs in the Big Ten.
I don't want to say Travion Henderson. And Ibrahim, I can't. I'm not positive in it.
You think Saquon Barkley did it while he was at Penn State?
Yeah. They had good running backs. Ezekiel Elliott's another one, too.
That's true. Let's go Saquon. You good with that?
Yeah.
All right, let's go Saquon Barkley, final answer. Oh, man.
1 for 2 here.
We're getting. All
right, so you got Ezekiel Elliott in the mix.
I would like that, but what years was he there?
He was like 20. Yeah, he got drafted in 2016.
Okay, so that does leave us a gap after Melvin.
And then Ezekiel Elliott's another one. I for some reason, I think Ibrahim got one. I think it was 2 years ago.
I think you might be right.
You want to do it?
I don't think Braylon Allen.
You want to go Elliott first, then we'll go Ibrahim after that?
1 minute. Let's go Ibrahim, final answer.
Let's do it.
You did it in 2020.
Bang!
And 2022.
He did do it last year. Okay. So we're missing 21. Yep. Let's keep that in mind. But let's go Ezekiel Elliott, final answer.
Ezekiel Elliott did it in
We need 2 more.
2015.
We still need 2 more.
Okay.
Do you think Braylon did it in 21?
No, he was only 1,050 yards that year.
We're running out of time.
Yeah,
so
okay.
I'm going to need your brain here.
30
Jalen
seconds.
Berger, no. I'm thinking of that Ohio State running back who was on that Dwayne Haskins team and the Justin Fields first year.
Oh, boy.
Oh, my God, this is bothering me.
Well, you got no time to be bothered.
You're on the team, too, dude.
I'm completely out. I'm just going to do it. Braylon Allen, final answer.
10.
That's bad.
9.
That's off.
We're out of time. What do you want
7,
from me?
6.
You still need 2 more.
4.
Yeah.
3.
Damn it.
2. 1.
I'm out.
Congratulations, Marita in Milwaukee. You win a
We get
$50 gift card to Mars Cheese
Dang.
Castle.
Can you name them?
Yeah, give me the other 5.
That's going to bother me.
In 2021, he is now a Seattle Seahawk.
Oh, it was Kenneth Walker.
Yep. For Michigan State. I knew a Michigan State guy got one. I just couldn't place it. Yeah.
The guy you were trying to name is now currently a Baltimore Raven.
Oh, J.K.
Dobbins, yeah.
Correct.
That was the Ohio State guy. Oh, that's bothersome. Continue.
In 2016, Justin Jackson, who I'm not sure is in the league anymore, but he was a
Iowa, right?
Yeah, wouldn't have gotten that one. Yeah.
The last one played for Nebraska in 2013 and was a Detroit Lion.
Oh, that's he broke Melvin's record, right? Is that who I'm thinking of? It's not Samaje Perine, though, is it?
No. He played
different Perine?
No.
Who's it? What's his name?
It's Amir Abdullah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was such a good college player. That's right.
And then the last one is from Illinois in 2010. I don't think you guys will get this one.
No
Had a
shot.
short NFL career. It was Mikel LaShore.
Yeah, I would have never gotten that.
Should have gotten J.K. Should have gotten Kenneth Walker.
Should have gotten Kenneth Walker for sure.
And Amir Abdullah. That would have been a good snipe, but I don't think we would have gotten that one either.
That was a good topic, Joshy. As much as I don't like losing, well done by you. Pat on the back to you, buddy.
Yeah, thank you.
I am now 2-1 in my career on over/under.
That was a good one, Josh. I'm impressed. We should have gotten 2 of them, and we should have won, but we didn't. So I'll give you that.
I don't even. All my energy's gone now.
No.
I hate losing.
Yeah, that was bad. But we got, and there's 3 Badgers on the list, too.
We only got 5. Pretty bad. And one of them was Ezekiel Elliott.
How do I not get J.K.?
Kenneth Walker was my biggest miss for sure. I just completely forgot he went to Michigan State. Speaking of college football, Graham Mertz is going to make his debut with the Florida Gators tonight.
You think he'll play well?
This show has a long history with Graham Mertz. Yeah? The Kansas Cannon.
Yeah, sure.
He told me when I started working on this show, what was that, 2-3 years ago? He told me that Mama Mertz did not like that nickname. Ben and Greg always thought he was going to win the Heisman Trophy, and it did not go that way.
Multiple Heismans.
Multiple Heismans?
Yeah, that was
Who's the last guy who did that? Is that
last person to win multiple Heisman trophies?
Yeah, was that?
Well, Caleb Williams will do it this year.
I don't know about that, but I can see there's a lot of good quarterbacks in college football this year. A lot of good ones. Caleb Williams needs to have a great year for them to make the playoffs. Perfect year. Their defense stinks.
So what do we expect Graham Mertz to do? Because I'm going to be honest with you, I still think he has raw talent, and I think it's actually going to come out with the Gators. I think it's going to show Paul Chryst inability.
I don't. I think Florida's got a mold that they like with the quarterback being super athletic, and that's not Mertz. Felipe Franks a couple years ago, great athlete. Anthony Richardson, terrific athlete. They have a mold that they like to do a little bit of dual threat. That's not a lot of Graham Mertz. And I also think Graham Mertz, on a week-by-week basis, getting game planned by SEC defenses with 3 to 4 NFL players easy on each one, I think he's going to get batted around. There's not to say that the Big Ten defenses are not up to that standard, but I really think he's not going to fare well. I'm not sure about tonight. Cam Rising's not playing tonight, so if there's a game to steal tonight. But
okay, I didn't need that big of a breakdown. I just wanted to know what you thought Graham Mertz was going to be at Florida. That's all I asked.
I don't think he's going to be good.
I didn't ask who was on the injury report. I asked how Graham Mertz is going to do.
SEC is going to tune him up, I think.
So you think he's going to do worse?
What is worse? He was pretty
Josh,
bad
am I hallucinating? Am I having a different conversation than him?
What are you talking about? No, yeah. What is worse? Worse than what he did here? He wasn't... What part of good was he here? He was average. Not even. It's worse than that. Do I think he's going to be terrible? No. Do I think he's going to be bottom half of the SEC? I do.
Archie Griffin, the last to win back-to-back Heismans, by the way. Thanks to Dave and Deerfield for texting that one in. Josh, Graham Mertz, I don't know if you were ever on the bandwagon. I'm asking you if you are now on the bandwagon.
I was once very much on the bandwagon. I was leading the charge with Greg and Ben at one point. After that Illinois game, the 5 touchdowns, barely any incompletions. Yeah. It was hard not to get really excited about one of the higher prospects the Badgers
beat Michigan that year too.
Had ever brought in at the quarterback position. But I don't think he has it. I think it's pretty clear that some of the things that are required for the higher level of football, Graham Mertz just seems, at least so far, incapable.
Well, wasn't it Billy Napier, the Florida head coach, too, after their spring ball game a couple months ago, after he saw both of their quarterbacks play in that game, and he said, we're going to be in the market for a quarterback?
He did say that.
He did say that, and they never really addressed it because I late in the summer season, you can't really get a quarterback that's ready to start in an SEC school. Well, that's not I wouldn't call that a vote of confidence. And I don't have the audio. Maybe Josh does. I doubt it.
Why do you keep wanting Billy Napier audio? This is now the second time today, once off the air and once on the air, that you were looking to play Florida head coach's press conference from 6 months ago.
Yeah, that tells you anything you need to know about how he feels about Graham Mertz.
Just talk about it. We're not going to spend 30 minutes talking about Graham Mertz. I'm just curious what you think.
On the pregame, they got Graham Mertz highlights when the stadium was empty, and that was 3 years ago. How is that exciting?
Graham Mertz is currently on SportsCenter. That's why I brought it up.
The stadium, there's nobody in the stadium. This is 3 years ago. There's nobody. There's no home field advantage.
It's Illinois
either
game
side,
too, isn't it?
It is.
It's right. All of his highlights. It's one game. That's a joke.
Look at him dance. He dances like a clown.
Oh my God, he stunk. Why does everybody think he was great? Everybody's like, oh, he's going to tune up the SEC. Why? He didn't do it with us. He had a great running back. What are you talking about? A great defense, too.
Josh in Madison says, I like how Kyle is trying to talk about sports and Stroh freaks out.
Kyle? Hold on a second. Colin, but I like that text.
Good to see you're leaving a lasting impression, Colin.
Yeah, you're doing a great job. He's one of the few people that actually spelled my last name right.
I want to break down Billy Napier. Nobody else wants to break down Billy Napier. But lo and behold, here we are telling.
Well, you're going to have plenty of opportunity to talk as much Billy Napier as you want tomorrow, as the ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day crew will fill in for Greg and Ben tomorrow. Colin Russo, Adam Mertz, and former Badgers Chris Orr and Brad Nortman will be on the show tomorrow. The ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day crew kicking off the season for the Wisconsin Badgers, ranked 19th. You'll talk a lot more college football tomorrow. I want to flip back to the NFL. Josh from Madison. I'm going to talk about sports next because Ryan Leaf had something to say about Jordan Love. We'll listen to it next. It's Scalzo and Brust, presented by Bud Light. Alex Stroh, Colin Russo in for the guys.
You're listening to Bud Light, Scalzo, and Brust.
I said, what can I bring in terms of food and drink? And then I was like, I got an idea, the sound bar. But I'm
done with the story. You can just move on. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be rude.
You don't mean to be rude?
Subscribe to the Scalzo and Brust podcast free on the Wisconsin On Demand app and wherever you get your podcasts.
Our delays are still sticking around. Southbound 43, for example, from Brown Deer Road to downtown is going to be a half an hour, 19-minute backup. Northbound side is also going to be a bit heavy. That's going to take you about 21 minutes to get from downtown to Brown Deer Road. Westbound 94 between downtown and the zoo, a 9-minute ride. The westbound side from the zoo to Highway 16, we got a 14-minute ride. That's going to be an extra 7. And then once you get past the zoo interchange, you're going to be tapping on the brakes between 84th Street and the Stadium interchange. Traffic is brought to you by Carroll University's master's programs in athletic training, exercise physiology, and sports physiology, and performance coaching. Learn more at carrollu.edu/sports-science. And check out the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight. Mainly clear, a low of 60 at the lakefront, 54 inland. Tomorrow, sunny and warm with a high of 85. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazagon, 94.5 ESPN.
Kevin Red here from Mentality Men's Health. We hear stories every day in our clinics that what used to work for guys doesn't anymore. Increased cardio, cut out certain food, nothing stops the changes in their bodies, especially the weight. The fact is, years of decreasing testosterone is packed on the belly fat that won't go away. We've introduced a medication, semaglutide, that helps drop 15% of the body weight on average while preserving testosterone. Join the over 20,000 Mentality clients and jumpstart your results. In Milwaukee, go to lowtusa.com. That's lowtusa.com.
Hey, it's ESPN Wisconsin's Ben Brust. Men can be their own worst critics, especially as we get older and compare our current self to the younger version. The experts at Forward Healthy Lifestyles in Germantown help men with testosterone optimization, regenerative medicines, heart health screenings, weight loss, and yes, sexual enhancement services. Forward Healthy Lifestyles can offer regained energy and endurance, more muscle and tone, enhanced performance, joint therapies, and more. Change your life and stop comparing who you are now to who you used to be. Visit forwardhealthylifestyles.com for a free consultation.
Heading up north this summer for some golf? Be sure to book a tee time at the Ball Golf Course, an Arnold Palmer masterpiece just north of Milwaukee on the way to Kohler. It's the best destination for your next Wisconsin round of golf. Enjoy golf. Enjoy the bog.
The Saganiac Planning Marquette Conference Championship moment. 2013, the first Big East Conference Championship, regular season champs. 14-4 with Louisville and Georgetown won their last 4 conference games, including wins over nationally ranked Syracuse and Notre Dame. 11 players with more than 200 minutes. Blue, Gardner, Wilson, Derek and Jamil, Cadogan, Lockett, O'Toole, Mayo, Taylor, Anderson, and Thomas. 2013 Big East regular season champion.
If you're a company owner offering medical insurance for your employees, you may be sick and tired of the constant increase in rates or change in benefits. Now's the time to take a look at a different type of plan. At Saganiac Planning, we call it level funding. It's an opportunity to keep premiums low and possibly receive a return of your premiums. For more information regarding level funding, please call Steve Llewellyn, 262-783-6161. That's 262-783-6161. Saganiac Planning, a name synonymous with employee benefits and top-notch service.
Here in Wisconsin, one name is synonymous with fantastic frozen pizza, Palermo's. For almost 60 years, Palermo's has focused on feeding Wisconsin families. And though Palermo's has grown a lot since 1964, they're still family-owned. They're still proud to call Milwaukee home. And they're still committed to making the best frozen pizza possible. From their new and improved rising crust pizzas to their guilt-free Primo thin pies, Palermo's has a delicious slice for every appetite. Find Palermo's in your local grocer's freezer food aisle. Palermo's, flavor is our family's business.
Did you know that when you talk, read, or sing with your child, you're helping to shape their brain? Every parent has the power to create a strong start for our children from the day they are born. Visit TalkingIsTeaching.org for free tips and ideas on how to transform everyday moments into magical moments for learning.
You're listening to Scalzo and Brust on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Bud Light, the official beer of the NFL.
Grateful Dead Thursday on Scalzo and Brust, presented by Bud Light. Alex Strope alongside Colin Russo. Josh DiMaggio with us as well, as always. Scalzo and Brust, of course, presented by the official beer of the NFL, Bud Light. So just being reported real quick, a quick baseball note for you out there in baseball land and in Milwaukee. The Brewers have signed Josh Donaldson to a minor league contract, which makes no sense to me after he was cut from the Yankees 2 or 3 days ago. I just don't know what we're doing. I don't know what's going on in Wisconsin sports this week.
Well,
like the Packers making a run at Jonathan Taylor, which is a lot different than this, obviously.
Well, they're playing well, so you can't. The Brewers are doing everything right now.
But is Josh Donaldson a good ad?
It's just a throwaway ad. If they're going to keep him in A, he's not going to be on the team in September. That's what I'll say.
All right, good. All right, well, let's move back to Packers talk, because Jordan Love, of course, the talk of the town, the talk of the country, really, after having a really nice preseason. And again, I point out, I did memorize the preseason stats: 19 for 21, 193 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions for Jordan Love in all 3 preseason games combined. And Ryan Leaf, the former first-round pick, weighing in on Jordan Love. Does he think the Packers have done it again? Here's Ryan Leaf.
I think we're going to get something special.
Yeah?
I ultimately, when we're all said and done here, we're going to go, Green Bay did it again. They did it again.
Wow,
right?
again.
They went and did the blueprint, 3 years sitting. It's
amazing.
Put him in the position. What I've seen from him in the preseason and in training camp is the dude has like no governor on. Like the offensive system, he understands it, and he's just been letting it rip. I mean, the touchdowns you see in the preseason, a lot of times you look back at when Dak Prescott came in for Tony Romo.
Sure.
It wasn't preseason touchdown passes. They were different kind of looks. And we've seen something similar from Jordan Love. These aren't just dink and dunk and here we are. The guys love him. They're ready to play hard for him. It just feels like in New York here and in Green Bay, everybody's got a new lease on life and that rebirth, and here we go.
Look, I love the confidence. I love anybody that gives the vote of confidence to Jordan Love, especially when you know the quarterback position. Now, obviously, Ryan Leaf did not have a very good NFL career. He had a very bad NFL career, the second overall pick behind Peyton Manning in 1998. But I do like the vote of confidence. He says the Packers look like they've got the swagger, they've got the confidence, they've got the understanding of this offense down, and Jordan Love is the right guy to lead the pack, the 3rd Hall of Fame quarterback in a row, potentially. So I like the vote of confidence. I just don't know how much weight it holds, because, again, as we've talked about time and time again over the course of the last 3 weeks, how much weight does the preseason hold? Joshie DiMaggio, of course, says Jordan Love's good. He's confident to say that. I feel the same way. But I don't know if I can go ahead and go as far as Ryan Leaf has, and that is the Packers have done it again.
That's crazy. He's talking about 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks that preceded that. And I think it's a little ironic, of course, coming from Ryan Leaf, somebody who's epically a miserable draft bust. And it's nothing against him talking about the quarterback position. Obviously, he knows it a lot more than I ever will. But the idea that you could proclaim that Packers have done it again off of Jordan Love with almost 0 relevant sample size and a good preseason, I don't really think that there's nothing to write home about. But, I mean, you don't know. I think we'll have an idea. What week? Week 7?
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Week 8, you're going to have a rough idea of what you got? Or do you need a full season?
I'm hesitant to say yes to midway through a season, just because I feel like
second runs happen. Even the Packers know that.
Early on in the season, I think Love's going to look good, and we're all going to be, and rightfully so, incredibly excited.
Okay.
Because defenses don't have a lot to scheme off of, right? They didn't show a lot in the preseason. They didn't make him do a ton. He was throwing checkdowns, right? And he should. He should not take any big risks in the preseason. He took a couple down the sideline in Game 2 to Romeo Doubs. He had a really nice touchdown pass that same drive to Jaden Reed in Game number 2 against New England. But they're not showing a ton of what necessarily this offense is going to trot out in weeks 1, 2, 3, and 4. But I think by midseason, you're going to have some growing pains. And you're going to have a couple of games where you're like, that wasn't the best from Jordan Love. That didn't look very good. Yeah. But I think by week, let's say 12, 13, 14, you're going to have a pretty good idea of what he can be. Now, that does not mean that's what he is. You just have an idea of what the highs are. I think you'll also have an idea of what the floor is. But by all means, me and Josh can agree on this, the floor has certainly risen for Jordan Love over the course of this 3 games in the preseason.
So I don't put any stock into the preseason, but I like where you're going by like week 10, 11, 12. That's really the time of year where if a quarterback starts hot, that's when everybody's going to have figured him out, and you're going to see if he responds well to that. Those are the 3 steps of a quarterback progression over a season that you'll see. There's the starter and how they come out firing for the first 3 weeks. There's the 5-6 weeks past that where they're actually going to start getting game planned, and it's the 3 or 4 weeks after that where they actually get a chance to respond to that and see how they react. What if it's on the flip side? What if he starts slow, they start tightening up on him, and then he opens it up in the second half of the year? It happens. We've seen it with quarterbacks. We've seen it with Trevor Lawrence last year. Had a terrible first half of the season. They didn't play well. Then they won 8, 9 straight towards the end of the year. Stuff happens. And so that, I think I agree with that. I'm going to change my answer. Week 10, 11, 12. That type of area is where you're going to see how he initially starts, how the defenses and defensive coordinators respond to him, and then how he responds to that response.
I want to get to Joshy here in a second. 800-990-3776. Chef Ed chimes in. Come on, I'm not ready to drink the Kool-Aid. Opinions are like armpits. Everybody has one. Some, like Josh's, just stink more than others. Josh, go ahead.
Thanks for the beautiful setup there, Chef Ed and Alex Strofe. There's one major logical fallacy I would like to dispel here, and it's something that's been parroted across these airwaves, across TV, across the internet for the past 3 or 4 months or so. It's the fact that because the Packers backed up 2 Hall of Famers, that doing a third one is like more unlikely to not happen than any other player. It's extremely unlikely any player ever in the NFL is going to be a Hall of Famer, but the fact that the Packers' 2 previous quarterbacks did it has no correlation, has no affiliation to how good or bad Jordan Love is going to be. Jordan Love is an independent factor here. Now, do I think Ryan Leaf went a little far and got a little ahead of himself saying that they've done it back to back to back? Yeah, of course, because when you compare it to those 2 people, you're making a comparison of what, like, in the past 10 years, there's been like 3 quarterbacks coming to the league who you'd even compare to Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre. But Jordan Love is going to be, has nothing to do with what happened prior to him or what's going to happen after him or what's happening anywhere else in the league. The Packers can influence and make him end up in a better situation than maybe other places where they're trading away Jonathan Taylor, let's say, for Anthony Richardson in Indianapolis. But Jordan Love has shown that he's at least not terrible so far. That was a real concern for a lot of people. I think his floor is a lot higher, and I think that if you allow yourself to get a little excited, you can say, I think the Packers did it. They got 3 franchise quarterbacks in a row.
Well, that's why people say that. That's why that narrative is kind of getting carried away, is because the Packers are the outlier. In terms of the NFL, there's really hasn't been any other team that has really steamrolled one quarterback directly into the next and them both work out. I mean, the only example I could really think of off the top of my head is the Chiefs, from Alex Smith to Patrick Mahomes. And Alex Smith wasn't really much of a franchise player for that Chiefs team. But other than that, that's why they are kind of held to that narrative, to that standard of the Packers always had their quarterbacks figured out. This is the 3rd guy in a 3-man cycle. He's obviously going to be looped into that because they did the exact same thing they did to Love as they did with Rodgers and Favre. So the Packers are doing they got the blueprint. It's laid out. So there's no choice for the media to kind of run with that because he sat for 3 years. It's the same exact thing. There's no other choice for us, the media at that, to kind of take that and run. They're the outlier of the NFL in the quarterback position.
Yeah, I agree with that, but to Joshy's point, right, like all these factors are independent. Right? Wasn't Mike Sherman the head coach when Aaron Rodgers took over? Yeah. It might have been McCarthy, but it was very early on in his tenure, worst case. Regardless, like, nothing is the same. Nothing is the same. And when you view it from a perspective of, okay, is Jordan Love benefiting from learning from Aaron Rodgers for 3 years? Yeah, of course he's benefiting more than, say, Brock Purdy learned from Jimmy Garoppolo a year ago, right? Or Lamar Jackson learned from Joe Flacco, right? There's a different bar, but I don't think that necessarily means, Jordan Love will be worlds better just because he sat behind a dude for 3 years. Jordan Love is his own quarterback. He has his own style of play. He has his own strengths and weaknesses, against that Aaron Rodgers had, and obviously he didn't have a lot of weaknesses. But I'm intrigued. And to Josh's point, I think we all agree, the one positive you can take away from what you know about Jordan Love now versus what you knew a month ago is that the floor is higher than it was, right? Because you had no idea what to expect. You had seen very minimum from Jordan Love. Now you've seen minimum, but you've seen more than you did a month ago. And you have to feel confident. You have to feel a little bit better about what he has and what he brings to the table for the 2023 Packers and maybe even beyond, depending on how this year shakes out. If it shakes out fine, it will be beyond. He'll be back in 24, and more than likely will be back in 24, kind of regardless of what happens in 2023. So it'll be fascinating to see how this turns out, but to go ahead and say the Packers have their third guy in a row, to say that's premature,
outrageous,
is an understatement. He's Colin Russo. I'm Alex Strofe. It is Scalzo and Brust presented by Bud Light. I know we've got free beer and free pizza Friday. Josh, you want me to do that now, or we want to wait a little bit?
We'll save that to the end of the show. It's a little tease.
So get your phones ready in about 10 minutes. We'll do some free beer and free pizza Friday coming up on a Thursday in about 10 minutes. We'll wrap up the show and wrap up my run on Scalzo and Brust. It's a very sad day.
Say goodbye to the air. Say goodbye.
You're such a jerk.
Get to the fields.
It's Scalzo and Brust, presented by Bud Light.
You're listening to Bud Light, Scalzo and Brust.
We need to move on because it's very difficult to like you.
Subscribe to the Scalzo and Brust podcast free on the Wisconsin On Demand app and wherever you get your podcasts.
Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. That's right, folks. Great Lakes Dragway's 2023 race season is in full swing. Come out to see our annual events like Memorial Day Weekend, Labor Day Weekend, Nitrous Streetcar Brawl, Import Wars, Larry's Fun Fest, and Bug Fest. Looking for something new and exciting? Come see the Night of Fire Jet Show. Want the track all to yourself? Email or call about a private track rental. Go to GreatLakesDragaway.com for contact information and our full season schedule. Great Lakes Dragaway, just a burnout west of I-94 on County KR. Be there.
Cousin Subs just got better. With our newest mobile app update, we've made it easier to purchase your favorite subs and sides with Apple or Google Pay and the ability to make split payments. And that's not all. Can we get your digits? Sign up today for our new text messaging program to unlock exclusive coupons and offers at cousinsubs.com or via our app. Cousin Subs. We believe in better.
Bikers need protection, not just from other drivers, but unfortunately from insurance companies too. If you've been injured in a motorcycle crash, call Gruber Law Offices today. Bikers are often blamed for causing the accident because the insurance companies simply don't want to pay. At Gruber Law Offices, we've been fighting for injured bikers and their families for more than 30 years. Trust us to fight for what you deserve. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
It's Labor Day week here on 94.5 ESPN, sponsored by Perky's Old Fashioned, a ready-to-pour bourbon or brandy mix with the alcohol already in it. Just add the soda of your choosing to their Perky's brandy or bourbon mix and enjoy. Find your nearest Perky's location at PerkySpirits.com and get 15% off Perky's merch using the code PERKY15. Happy Labor Day from 94.5 ESPN and Perky's Old Fashioned. Get perked up. Perky's is your local bartender in a bottle.
Hey, this is the Fat Jack, and it's finally the start of football season and a great time for you to ask yourself, how did last year go? If you were just guessing and you lost money betting on the games, now is the time to go to FatJackSports.com. Before you dig yourself a hole, you can start the season heading into profit. For $50 a week, you can make money betting the games. Go to FatJackSports.com and get consistent winners emailed to you or sent via text that will get you into profit. FatJackSports.com today.
Steinhaffel's Labor Day sale is bigger than ever with huge savings throughout the store and hundreds of incredible bonus buys. Start with $100 off your purchase of $19.99 or more. Plus, get a stainless steel 115-can beverage cooler free when you spend $39.99 or more. And take 15% off all clearance furniture and mattresses. Make it even easier when you use Steinhaffel's 72-month financing. It's Steinhaffel's Labor Day sale. Shop in store or online at steinhaffels.com.
When severe weather hits and the power goes out, do you have a plan? For reliable power and peace of mind, propane can do that. It only takes about 10 seconds for a propane-powered generator to restore power to your home. So no matter what Mother Nature has in store, you know you're prepared. Learn more at WIPGA.org. This message is sponsored by your local propane provider and the Wisconsin Propane Education and Research Council.
What does summer sound like in a new Chevy? Find the best way to the ballpark with the Chevy Equinox navigation system. Load up the kayaks with room to spare in the spacious Chevy Trailblazer with 60/40 split folding rear seats. Haul out the camper and spend a night roasting marshmallows with the Chevy Silverado. Or feel the roar of the crowd and bring the whole crew along in the Chevy Traverse with seating for up to 8. So what are you waiting for? This summer, happiness is a new Chevy. Visit WisconsinDriveChevy.com. Traverse seating up to 8 standard and LS available on LT with second row bench seat, RS Premier, and High Country seat 7.
Unfiltered, shameless, and analytical. ESPN Milwaukee's next afternoon show is Kyle, Brust, and Northman. Weekdays from 2 to 5. And it debuts on Monday, September 11th at 2 o'clock. Right here on 94.5 ESPN.
What a great tune. Brown-Eyed Women by Grateful Dead on this Grateful Dead Thursday. Josh, aren't you proud of me? I mean, I've learned a lot over these Grateful Dead Thursdays.
Were you not a Grateful Dead guy?
I've never disliked them by any means.
I wasn't a ground.
But I will give Josh DiMaggio a ton of credit.
Getting into it?
Very much so.
Okay.
Terrific band.
Good for you, Josh.
Have we turned you into a little deadhead here, Strophy?
I would say not full-blown Deadhead, but I'm well on my way.
You never saw them live, did you?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
I don't know if they did a tour while Strofe was alive.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Okay. Who do we see? Oh, I'm thinking of Dead and Company. Sorry.
Dead and Company, yeah.
Yeah.
That's John Mayer.
Yeah.
You know John Mayer?
Yeah, I'm familiar.
Your body is a wonderland.
Yeah. I'm not a John Mayer guy. I don't know.
I think I could do a pretty mean John Mayer. I'm going to be honest with you.
Well,
I'm not going to bless you with any more of
Go
that.
ahead.
No, Josh.
I'm good, Josh.
Come on,
Thanks,
Josh.
though. We'll save that for after the show. I'll serenade you as you finish up your work.
No.
Yeah, I'm all right.
That work for you, Josh?
No, thanks.
Okay, fair enough.
Josh, the Packers win 9 games this year?
I think it's in the range of outcomes. I think that's the high end. I certainly think there's
What's the probability?
What?
What's the probability? What do you think? 8 wins? 7 wins? What's your take?
Yeah, I think 8-9 is probably like the coin flip scenario for the Packers this season. A lot of things are going to come down to like one-score games, and is the Packers' youth going to be a detriment, or is it going to be like some young, dumb luck, and they just happen to end up in the right spot?
Yeah, I know we did specialist talk earlier with Brad Nortman, Joshy, but I actually am curious, how concerned should Packers fans be about Anders Carlson, right? Like, he was consistently inconsistent in the preseason, but he knocked home a 57-yarder in the finale.
That's why I ask about the specialists.
Yeah, it's going to be strange, right? And obviously, Packers fans over the last decade and a half are so used to Mason Crosby and mostly reliability. A couple, of course, games where it was rough and we thought maybe his tenure would come to an end, but overall, a very consistent kicker. And I'm just really curious about Anders Carlson because he may lose this team games, and that is a weird. That is a weird scenario to be put in as a rookie. But it's a team that really, I don't think. I mean, of course, you have the expectation if you're in the locker room and the excitement and the buzz that you have the potential to go to the Super Bowl, but in reality, that's not going to be in the cards for the Packers. Playoff team, maybe. Maybe they win the North. I don't think it's going to be a very good division. Maybe they sneak it as a wild card. I think 9 wins is probably good enough to do it. Maybe 10. That might be a stretch for the Packers. The NFC's bad.
Bad NFC. The problem is you got a couple teams in your division that are probably going to be flirting with that 9-7 range too.
Yeah, you're probably right about that. So I'm fascinated to see the season just about 9 days, 10 days away. Can't wait for that.
I could see special teams costing them 1 or 2 games.
The season 7 days away.
Go ahead, Josh.
The Packers season.
The season is 7.
Is 9, but we get
10
days. 9 days.
I mean,
10.
I need this football season like I need air to breathe right now.
No, I'm with you, man. I'm sick of the waiting. I'm sick of the hypotheticals. It was nice. The preseason was nice in terms of, you actually have tangible things to look at. You're not hypothesizing anymore, right? You have real things to break down and look at and understand what Jordan Love is, and you get an opportunity to look at him and understand him and see what his thought process is and his comfortability is, which was so important for me in this preseason. So it's nice to have real football, but now I want real football, and that's only 10 days away for the Packers. A week from right now is when the season season kicks off between the Lions and the Chiefs, which, by the way, not a good opening slate. It's free beer and free pizza Thursday on Scalzo and Brust. Potosi Beer, Palermo's Pizza to caller 1 in Milwaukee, caller 1 in Madison right now, 800-990-3776. Call Joshy right now, 800-990-3776. Caller 1 in Milwaukee, caller 1 in Madison. You get a free Palermo's Pizza and a free case of Potosi Beer. Big thanks to Riley Elk and Josh Dimaggio for running the show. Big thanks to Colin Russo, who you're here again tomorrow. I'm Alex Strofe. This has been Scalzo and Brust, presented by Bud Light. Peace.